What's up? Welcome to an edition of Blind Faith Beats. I'm headed down to Columbus, Ohio. Just left Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm going to the iStandard Producers in-studio session. We submitted some beats. This is a strategy of ours, Quie. Basically, we've been doing a bunch of beats, and so it's time out there to get us some professional feedback. So we submitted the beats. We got picked. We had to pay a registration fee. Headed to Columbus, Ohio. iStandard Producers in-studio session. And also in later on this month in LA, when I go to Los Angeles, I'll be also going to another iStandard producer event. Blind Faith Beats. Here we go. So, get to use Kids Records in Columbus. Area's really nice. I wish we had more time because it looked like the whole little block was kind of artsy. I love those little artsy spots. Remind me of little 5 Points in Atlanta type thing. You know, got your little, just the artsy kids. And but I could have been at that record store forever. I mean, I love record stores, and they got the one where you can sit down and actually listen to the records, where you can go pick out the records, then go listen to it before you buy it. I mean, when I find those spots, I could be up in those spots for 5 to 6 hours, easy. Ask my peoples, they see me do it. They can't hang. Let me give a big shout out to DJ Afterthought, because he's the one who told me about iStandard. He's like, if you're gonna do this kind of thing, iStandard's probably the best way to do it. So I did it, and basically I wanted to, like, with Quie, everything with Quie so far, the production style of Quie so far, everything has been experimental. We're 3 different guys. We all have 3 different interests, and one day Ryan will lead, and we'll go in Ryan's direction. One day Zay will lead, we'll go in his direction. One day I'll lead, and we'll go in my direction. And I love that. That's what I love about Quie. It's just, it's a new experimental sound. So we wanted some feedback, because we know what we're doing is different. We know that. We know we don't sound like anything that's out there, and that's important. Still at Use Kid Records. We're still at Use Kid Records. And then Premise comes out. They do, talks about the night and what's the night's about and what he wants the objective of. The objective is basically to network and start this journey on becoming a full-time paid producer. That's basically all our dreams, is to wake up and make music every day and get paid. So, that's why I did a 3-hour trip there and a 3-hour trip back. Then he brought out Streetruner.
So the Street, I know you're from Miami. Maybe tell the crowd a little bit how you got rolling as a producer and why you decided to take that direction.
If I was to start from like way back, it would be like the love of music, just DJing and collecting records and getting into the point, like I wanted to be a battle DJ, and then eventually wanting to make the beats that I was spinning. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really into like DJ Premier then, Havoc, Wu-Tang Clan, so RZA, Pete Rock, like those were my idols, you know what I'm saying? So like, being a kid from Miami, there was no protege, you know what I'm saying? There was no, like, we had Luke and we had booty music, and like, everything was still very 808 and club driven. There was no hip hop really out there like that. So basically I had to figure it all out. Me being a fan of East Coast music and then growing up listening to a lot of West Coast music, I just had to figure it out. And eventually figured out like the sample game and how to flip samples. I got my first drum machine, started working on my drums, working on my sampling skills. And after about, I would say 4 years, I felt like I was ready to start shopping my beats professionally. Start like getting on the grind, and I started looking at, like, I would go buy, independent artist albums, and I would get the address off the artwork, whatever label address, whatever A&R contact I could get. I started just like really going and digging, and then I would make trips to like New York City and try to see the A&Rs face to face, because that's what you did back in like early 2000s. There were no MP3s. Like, believe it or not, at one point they didn't exist. So you actually had to go hand to hand, face to face, give them a CD, like an actual CD, and you had to mail CDs. Like, they wanted like beat CDs. So like that was like a whole nother grind right there in itself. So, just I got to meet a lot of people that you know, started moving my career forward. And one of the greatest artists that I got to do that with is Fat Joe, and I'm still rocking with Joe now to this day. And my first break was a Fat Joe single called Terror Squad's Take Me Home, and it was a Billboard charting single. And it's funny because like all these years later, I'm now charting again with another Fat Joe single, and that's like 14 years later. So it just shows like relationships is everything in this business. You can't shit on people. Don't be a dick to nobody. Just be hella cool.
And then I knew Streetruner did some beats. The biggest thing I knew about was Lil Wayne and Eminem. But then, you know, as he's talking and he's talking about other artists he worked with, Fat Joe, and you know, talk about some little tips of what he did and how he was a boom bap producer like me, and he sampled a lot. The next step was bringing in live musicians, how they kind of replay the sample. He does a really deep technique, which I would love to do with my boys, is he completely makes the beat, chops it all up, so it's unrecognizable here before it even gets to them. With Zave, I think when me and Zave do it, I play Zave the sample, and then he replays it. Streetrunner chops here first, kind of gets it unrecognizable, and then sends it to his musician, and then he plays it that way. And I'm going to steal that Streetrunner. but that was cool hearing some of his techniques. And then we didn't stay too long in there. And then the one thing what I really liked about I Standard that was dope was that he was like, all right, y'all, we're all producers in here, let's go dig. And we had a big group dig. Oh, that was dope. A big group dig for samples. And you know, I've been digging for samples almost 20 years now, if not 20 years. I gotta do the math, I don't know. Yeah, so next 30, 40 minutes, we all in there digging, you know, pulling out stuff. I pulled out a Mantronics. I didn't buy the Mantronics one because I already have it, but I pulled out the Mantronics and like, Streetrunner, you know about this? And you know, because only the OGs know about Mantronics. I'm pretty sure you puppies have no clue who Mantronics is. But if you like New York hip-hop with bass, that was Mantronics. And they had pizza and drink, and the people who worked at Used Kids Records in Columbus, they were very, very cool. Like I said, it was just a warming feeling, and I really enjoyed that. The other thing that was dope, I went beat digging. Y'all should recognize, because this is what you're gonna be seeing in the next couple of Blind Faith beats. Got a Patrice Rushen album. I listened to it. It had like 3 things I was interested in, so I'm definitely gonna mess with this. Undisputed Truth. Now I've sampled Undisputed Truth before, but I never saw this album cover. I played it and listened to it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I didn't get a chance to listen to this, but it's the best of KC and the Sunshine Band. I love KC and the Sunshine Band. Used Kid Records here for this meet and greet with Streetruner. Dang, I didn't know he did all them beats. Oh, the Wayne, the Meek Mill. Streetrunner's that dude. That's who I got to sit in with today. So we're gonna go to the studio now, sit in. But I could have stayed in that record store easily for another 2 days. Headphones where I can listen to the records too. Oh my God. I just want to bring my MPC in there and just go off. But yeah, so now we're headed to the studio. Here we go meet Streetrunner, play him some beats, see how this go. Then after that, we went over to the studio. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'll find the studio's name and it'll be right here somewhere what the name of the studio is, because I can't remember it. But it was a really nice studio. You know, felt really homey, nice and big and spacious. It was about probably, I think it was 10 producers. And you know, we all got there and we just socialized, and they put us all in one place, and they said Streetrunner comes into the main studio, and we sitting outside of the main studio, and they bringing us in one at a time. Guess who goes first? Yeah, me, us, Quie, MONSTALUNG. And with me organizing these things, because I've organized beat battles and stuff before, that's never a good sign. A couple reasons. One, they might forget your beat by the time they get to the last beat, because the last thing you hear can always have an influence on you. 2, they might put the weakest first. It might be like the opener. So overall, my trip to Columbus for the I Standard studio and studio experience It's quite awesome. I loved it. It was great. This week's beat for Blind Faith Beats is Pain of Quie, one of the 5 beats we got to play last night at the iStandard in-studio experience with legendary producer Streetruner. Streetruner is known for working with Eminem, Fat Joe, Lil Wayne, and the Meek Mill tracks he got is ridiculous. The stuff he's done with Meek Mill on the last few of his projects is really crazy. So a lot of respect for Streetruner. Once again, thank you for watching Blind Faith Beats. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, MONSTALUNG Sound Vision. Also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at MONSTALUNG, MONSTALUNG. Also on SoundCloud and BeatStar. And check out this beat. It's called Pain of Quie. About to play it right now. Catch you next week. Thank you for watching Blind Faith Beats.